Thank you, council members, for the opportunity to provide testimony. My name is Abbi Swatsworth. I'm representing OUTNebraska at 211 North 14th, Lincoln, Nebraska 68508. OUTNebraska stands in support of the Protecting Youth Mental Health Ordinance to protect minors from so-called conversion therapy practices within Lincoln city limits. From a collaborative report by the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration and the American Psychological Association, quote, "Sexuality occurs across a spectrum. Same-gender attraction and relationships are normal variations of human sexuality. Sexual minority adolescents face the same developmental tasks that accompany adolescence for all youth, including sexual orientation development. Gender development begins in infancy and continues progressively throughout childhood. Gender diversity may emerge as early as a child's preschool years or as late as adolescence. Many gender minority children will develop a cisgender identity in adolescence or adulthood. A majority of these children will identify as lesbian, gay, or bisexual in adulthood. Other gender minority children will experience worsening gender dysphoria with the physical changes of adolescence. These youth generally identify as transgender in adolescence and adulthood. There is evidence that parental behaviors and attitudes have a significant effect on the mental health and well-being of sexual and gender minority children and adolescents. Conversion therapy amplifies the shame and stigma so many LGBTQ+ young people already experience. Parents who attempt to change their child's sexual orientation or gender identity instill feelings of family rejection and risk, which can fracture their relationship with their child. Research on the issue of family acceptance of LGBTQ youth conducted at San Francisco State University found that, quote, compared with LGBTQ young people who were not rejected or who were only a little rejected by their parents and caregivers, highly rejected LGBTQ young people were more than 8 times more likely to have attempted suicide, nearly 6 times as likely to report high levels of depression, more than 3 times more likely to use illegal drugs, more than 3 times as likely to be at high risk for HIV or other STDs. There is limited research on conversion therapy efforts among children and adolescents. However, none of the existing research supports the premise that mental or behavioral health interventions can alter gender identity or sexual orientation at any age. Conversion therapy practices aimed at a fixed outcome such as gender conformity or heterosexual orientation, including those aimed at changing gender identity, gender expression, and sexual orientation, are coercive, harmful, and should not be part of the behavioral health treatment. As an organization that strives to ensure the well-being of LGBTQ+ people, we hold this ordinance close to our hearts. Conversion therapy compounds the dangers of social and family rejection and undermines the very existence of LGBTQ+ people. We believe that Lincoln should value and honor the lives of all young people. This ordinance will curb damaging practices known to produce lifelong harm for youth who are subjected to them, and will help to ensure the overall health and safety of all youth. 85 municipalities have banned conversion therapy through similar ordinance. It's time to add Lincoln to this list because we want all young people to be safe and have every opportunity to thrive in our city. I encourage you to advance this ordinance and to make the statement to Lincoln's LGBTQ youth that they do not need to be cured. Thank you.
Thank you, Abbi.